What is up, Luke and friends? All right, we are going to talk about our first weekend open for business on TCG Player. So, as the title says, 7 sales over the first weekend, which is a lot better than I thought we were going to do. I actually had no clue what was going to happen. So, let's run through a little bit sort of what we're dealing with, why we're doing this, and kind of the what, why, the lesson, go from there. So, remember, our short-term goal right now in terms of how we're going to make money is by doing singles on TCG Player, right? There's a short way to make short-term, medium-term, long-term. So long-term, you'll see I've got some more sealed product. That's just kind of messing around with it. I haven't really gotten into the strategies on that. But for short-term, we know that we're going to do singles on TCG Player. The reason is it's the most established marketplace. There's built-in infrastructure for everything. It handles all the money. The fees are high, so I don't know if that is a permanent solution or a long-term solution. But in the short term, with no experience, with no following on social media, and with almost no inventory, we're going to go with singles on TCG Player. So phase one of that then is okay. So what's the first thing that we need to do? Well, the first thing we need to do on TCG Player, right? Phase one is get to level 4 seller. All right. You have to get to 51 sales to do that with good feedback, right? Like, don't mess it up, make sure you deliver, do what you have to say. So, why is that so important? Well, because then you get access to the tools, to the seller tools, to where it will automatically price things for you against the market, other things as well. Most importantly, on shipping, you can mark your shipping as free shipping for over $5. So, for low level cards, it encourages multiple purchases, and then and so that's what you want, right? So getting going forward to make ourselves look like we're a reputable shop with a lot of experience, we're going to need reviews, right? We're going to need sales. We're going to need to be level 4, and we're going to want a wide sort of a wide surface area of our offering. Because if you log on to someone's store and you look at it on TCG Player and they have 3 cards, right? Then you're like, oh, this person's not legit. They're just getting started. Okay. But if you log on to their inventory and you look at their inventory and they literally have, hundreds of cards in every single area, then you're like, oh, this is a legit store. So there's a halo effect from the amount of opportunity they have to buy, right? And the more opportunities they have to buy, the higher percentage of them will buy, the more money that you'll make. Okay, if you're pricing everything properly and you source your inventory well. However, we don't want a wide surface area when we're going to level 4 seller. Okay, why is that? Well, one, we have to price competitively. So in order for us to get people to buy our stuff, we have to be the lowest price, right? And so to be the lowest price, that means that we don't want people to buy a lot of our product, because then what happens is then that eats away at our cost basis, meaning that we lose money on more people when they buy more than one card, because the shipping, right? So like, the lowest amount of shipping you can charge is $1.49 on TCG Player. And so when you're pricing your card, you price it to where your price plus $1.49 makes it the lowest card by a penny, right? And that was my strategy. And I only picked cards to where I had a positive cost basis, meaning that cards that I had purchased that had gone up in price. So, and I only wanted to list 4 cards at a time, 4 or 5 cards, right? And the reason is like I said, is that if you list all of your cards at once, even all the ones that you can make money on, then someone's going to come in there. They're going to say, "Oh, this is a great deal," and then they're going to buy more than one card, and then you lose money because you only get paid for shipping once. Okay, so you actually want to decrease on your run to level 4. You want to decrease your surface area of cards that they can buy. So someone's searching for a specific card. Call it, my first card that I sold was Mega Latias X, right? Mega Evolutions. Okay, they want to buy a Mega Latias X or whatever, however it's pronounced, and they come in there and they see it. Oh, this is the cheapest one. They click it. They're like, let's look what else that Pokebard TCG has to offer. And then there's only 3 other cards in there. So if there's only 3 other cards in there, then they have to really want one of those cards, and the chances are low they're not going to want one of those cards. And then they don't purchase. Then you get your price, the low price plus the shipping, and then you're above your cost basis, so you don't lose money on the card. Okay, and that was my goal. Is I didn't want to lose money on any card. I wanted to be at my cost basis or above, meaning what I paid for the card, I'm only selling it for what I paid for the card or more. All right, and I accomplished that for almost all 7 sales. However, 2 of the 7 sales that they did purchase 2 cards, so then we lost money we lost a substantial, not a substantial amount, but we lost some percentage because we lose that shipping price, right? So in the beginning, when you're trying to go to level 4 seller, you want a small amount of inventory. Now, again, this will take more time than if we were going to just list everything. But again, then someone can come in and buy all the inventory, right? And the cards that I'm pricing are between 450. The cards that I bought were between 450 and 650, and I bought 56 cards, right? So I want to try to see if I can hit that 50 marker just using those cards, right? Um, because then I'll, and that's my inventory right now. And then I want to see what's selling, what's not selling. And I made some mistakes on that, and I'll talk about that in a later video in terms of things I should have looked at before I bought those cards. But if you look at between that 450 and 650 range, there's about 10 cards in every set, and I'm focusing just on Mega Evolutions and the expansions, right? So in that situation, there's only 10 cards on each set, right? About give or take. So that's a very definable universe. I feel comfortable there. So you're looking at 50 cars or so in that area. And I didn't buy all those. I just looked at ones I thought that I liked and that were a good price. So the good news is that I didn't think we were going to have 7 sales. I fulfilled on them this morning. My first sale, I gave them an extra card for my personal collection that I ripped just to celebrate the first sale, wrote them a nice note, and then I fulfilled on everything else immediately. Because remember, our only goal we have 2 main goals. Number one, get to 51 sales with a good rating. And then number 2 is try to get some reviews. So, you can write a nice note in there, but most importantly is fulfill quickly. So I waited till they all came together to 7 this morning. I fulfilled them all because I had never done it before. Thank you, Pastor, for your video on how to do that. And then from there, now that I know how to do it, I've done 7 of them all at once, kind of. Whenever an order comes in, I'm just going to fulfill it right away. Literally, like when I get a free moment, I'm going to fulfill it right away, mark it fulfilled, because that will help build confidence in the brand and get good reviews, and then people are happy, right? Because your reputation is incredibly important, right? The other thing I did too is I waited to start listing stuff until I had little business cards with this channel's information on it, because if we're going to sell a large amount of cards, hopefully that are like a lower price to start to kind of build the surface area of the store. And that is going to probably be bulk, I think. I'm still working through that, how I'm going to do that. Then each sale that we want to have, not just the money that we make, not just the reputation that we build, but also for social media. You're going to want to, each sale from the very beginning has had a, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? And now that I have Instagram, I'm kind of doing that. My next round of business cards that I print out will have the Instagram QR code in there as well. So, but look, great feedback from the first weekend. I did not expect to make seven sales. We were above cost basis for almost everything. We lost money on the two sales that got 2 cards each. But the thing to remember is that we're not selling really high value cards. We're learning on low value. So if we lose 50 cents or $1 or whatever, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, let's say that we lose $1. We lose $1 a sale. Let's just say that we do. For these 51 sales, we average losing $1. If you were to ask me, hey Wade, would you pay $51 to become a level 4 seller on TCG, be able to compete with everyone else in terms of free shipping, and then get all the tools? Of course you would, right? Now we don't want to have to spend $250 or lose a ton of money. So we want to lose as little money as possible, but we don't want to wait for perfect situations. I'm willing to bear that cost because we're going to make that money back once we're a level 4 seller and we can compete with everybody else. And then start to figure out our profit model. But right now, we're paying whatever money we lose to become a level 4 seller, to build the reputation, to build the number of sales, and then to start maybe hopefully getting some subscribers. So that is a lot of value for that. We're getting value for the money that we're spending that we're not making back. And so it'll be interesting to see how much money it's going to cost us to get to level 4, but that's an investment. It's not just the profit and loss. It's those other 3 things. We're building the reputation, we're getting to level 4, and then also we're hopefully starting to build the social media with with each order where there's a person, hey, yeah, I'll subscribe to this. And then lastly, we're getting the experience, right? Like, remember, we have no experience selling trading cards. We have no experience selling Pokemon. So the fact that we got out of the gate 7 sales in our first weekend, we didn't lose. I think we might have broken even or lost a little bit of money. That's huge. That's huge. So I'm very excited. I hope you're excited. And so that is the phase 1. Is we're going to keep working on phase 1 right? Until we figure out, get that done, and then we can start figuring out phase two. I'm already starting to do some research and listen to some YouTube videos on bulk, and so that may be the way that we go. But I have an open mind now about phase two. We're just going to um, keep going. Oh, and then the other thing, last thing I want to talk about is the data, right? So I'm seeing like what's selling and at what price. So now, like for like, I sold the most cards I sold was the Mega Latias X from uh, Mega Evolutions base set, right? The MEO1. And so now I'm getting like tracking, like what will people buy this for, right? So now I know if I go to a card store or I see a Mega Latias X for $3, I know I can sell it for 5, at least in that way that the market is right now. And that's the thing is that don't wait to start building your store. The market demand is like super high right now, and there's a lot of money flowing around in the thing. I have no idea how long that's going to last. So now is the time to build because there's the most demand out there, and it's the easiest. This will be probably the easiest it will be for a while because once it crashes, which is going to, you want to have an established store built and not try to build your store in a down market in terms of the Pokemon. But if you're watching this video and the market is down, then that's great. Then you're still going to have to do it. You can still use everything I'm doing it the same way. It just might go a little slower. So again, remember, when you're watching this video, the market is different. Your skill level is different. Your capital is different, right? So you have to take everything that I'm doing with a grain of salt and try to figure out how does this apply to you, right? And then don't just do what I'm doing blindly if you're going to try to kind of go my path, but the principles will work. So thank you so much for tuning in today for episode 3. I'm super excited about the weekend and that we got 7 sales. That's a great start. It's promising. And Luke and friends, I can't wait till we talk again.